Hey guys. Just thought I'd throw a little war in there. It was actually Lee Oscar who come up with that riff, I believe. It's Lowrider. For you guys that don't know, it's a good riff. It's kind of a cool riff to play. But anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about online banking and its benefits and everything, because a lot of guys don't do any banking back home, so they figure, well, I'll have my check sent over here to my account here. I'll get a dollar account and have it shipped in there or whatever, and that's good too if you're just going to be dealing strictly over here. But I notice online sometimes when you go to buy American goods over here, like let's say on Temu or on Lazada, I was looking at survival food on there, and I was looking for it to have I was looking to buy like maybe 30 to 90 days worth of survival food. And over here they want $300 for like the 4-gallon, it's a 4-gallon bucket, not a 5-gallon bucket, and it's good for 30 days. Okay, and I was looking at it, and says, man, for $300, that's kind of really, really expensive. Although, it is here, and that's a good thing. But I went on to eBay because I figured, okay, what would the shipping cost for that be? It's got to be a few bucks or whatever. And I found this guy over in Vietnam, and I was like, interesting. Okay, and this guy's selling American emergency supplies and stuff like that. So, and it was a lot cheaper. It was $70 or something like that for a 30-day supply. And then there's the shipping, which isn't as much as from the US. I forget what it was. Anyway, you can pay for that through PayPal. You can order it through PayPal if you have a PayPal account, or if you have they also have PayPal credit for you guys that have good credit. You can use PayPal credit and pay for it over time or what have you. But there's things like that you want to use. And I also use eBay a lot for, buying harmonica lots. And then I fix and repair them and clean them and buff them and all that stuff. So they're almost like brand new by the time I'm done. And then you can even tune them and stuff like that if you really get into it. But most of the ones that I get are not used that long by people. So you just need to sanitize them and clean them up. But also I use it for like loans. If I want to pay off my credit card, if I use my credit card or what have you. And I automatically put a certain amount to my credit card each month because I like to use it when I go to, say, Texas Roadhouse. I just throw it on my card and I have it pay automatically. And I always keep it at a certain amount. And I also use my credit cards to pay off certain other things once in a while because of the points and stuff like that. So I actually benefit a little bit and get a little bit of a discount by using those credit cards. And a lot of people say, man, I've never used credit cards because you're paying the interest. Not if you pay it off right away. Okay, so that's the great part. And plus you can get anywhere from 1 to 5% back in points, and it adds up. And actually, I had forgotten about the points, and I went in there one time and I used it to make a monthly payment. I was like, that's really good, and it just paid it all off. And I was like, that's phenomenal. But you can also use that online payment system, like I said, to pay off loans. And I have like that small one. And I figured out how long it's going to take to pay it off and when's the exact time it's going to stop. And I called the company and I asked them too, just to make sure. And they said, yeah, that's the last payment on that month. So what I did was I went on there and I said, pay it for like 37 months or whatever it is, just as an example. And it'll stop on that month. But you can also set it up so that you don't forget to send somebody a birthday gift, or you can send them a check on their birthday. Just send them a check and you can put happy birthday on there. It lets you write a little memo on there, happy birthday. And it's great to do stuff like that. Let's say your niece, your nephew, or your grandson or granddaughter or what have you, your mom or your dad, you want to send them some money each month or something like that. You can set it up so that it just automatically cuts that check each month and it goes out and goes to them. And it's phenomenal for doing stuff like that because it helps you, especially when we get older. We tend to forget to pay things like our credit card or whatever. So at least make like the minimum payment each month so that it just keeps going out and you don't have to worry about it because, we're busy over here. Even as retirees, a lot of people over here stay busy, and they're always active over here. I find that I'm way more active over here in the Philippines than I was back home when I was working, because over here I'm always doing something. I always have something going on. A lot of times I'm home, but I'm doing learning or doing online courses or stuff like that now, and I'm really getting into the online courses a lot, and I'm starting to enjoy them a lot, and I like spending that time doing those online courses because they're kind of fun. And you learn stuff. And even though we're old, a lot of guys say, well, what am I going to use it for? I'm going to die in another 10, 20 years or something like that. And, and I'm retired. So what am I going to use those courses for? Well, you can learn guitar. You can learn harmonica. You can learn things that you always wanted to know about, and you don't have to worry about flunking or anything. It's not about credits or anything like that, because you can do Udemy and stuff like that, but you can, and also that's another thing too, is you can use your thing back home to get you pay for American courses and stuff like that. So always have an account back home that you can use, and pay things off back home, because it's great. Because if let's say your power of attorney goes out and does something for you, and you need some money for them to do that, and you want to pay them also. The great thing about having that account back home is you can do that. But also, I have Western Union in the United States. You have to download the app in the US, or put a VPN on in the US, and then download Western Union. And then you can cut yourself, you can pay yourself through Western Union and go pick it up here in the Philippines and pick up cash at one of the Western Union places. And that's a good thing to be able to do that, because sometimes if you lose your ATM card or something like that, or you're waiting for your new ATM card, you just send yourself money and you go pick it up, and it's simple, and that's a great emergency way to get money. Or you could send it to your girlfriend, or you could send it to a friend of yours, another expat possibly, and he could pick it up for you and then just give it to you. Or if you're in the hospital, let's say you go in the hospital, God forbid, right? You're in the hospital. Make sure you set up your Western Union so you can pay a buddy of yours or something like that, or somebody that you know, so that they can get the money and go pay your hospital bill per se, or something like that. Because most of the time when we go into the hospital here, it's for food poisoning, things like that. So you're in there for a few days or whatever, or maybe you got some gallstones or whatever. You can pay somebody to go, pick up that money and do that stuff, and say, look, I put an extra $100 in there for you. Just come in and pay my bill for me. You pay your watcher that's watching you at the hospital. And a watch, for you guys that didn't watch my video on watchers, when you go to the hospital here, you need to have a watcher with you, and that watcher kind of goes down and pays your bills, picks up prescriptions, things like that. And they do favors for you when you're staying at the hospital. And you need somebody there 24/7. In most hospitals, that's like a general rule. You need to have a watcher there. So for you guys that are loners, be aware of that. If you're coming over here and you're living alone, make sure you make a few friends that are willing to be your watcher. If you get sick or you go into the hospital and you need to have somebody with you, make sure that you ask that person, say, hey, listen, just in case something ever happens to me, would you be willing to be my watcher? Ask them. Don't kind of force them into it. Say, hey, listen, I'm going to the hospital. I hate to put this upon you, but can you come into the hospital? Ask them first, because you never know when it's going to happen. It happens over here. We've seen it happen over here on several occasions where people go in the hospital. Fortunately, most of them have had watchers. But to get back to the banking, that's where it pays off to have that online banking and Western Union and all that stuff. And also have a Philippine account that you can also send money from the US and wire it over here to your own account you can do it through Western Union. And some banks will even let you send it by wire over here, but they'll charge you like $30 or something like that, or $60 to ship it over. Western Union in some cases is cheaper when you're using the US app to send it over here internationally. But when you're sending money in the United States, they actually charge you a lot of money to ship money to anywhere in the United States to somebody else. So it's, that's when you want to use your online banking and send them a check. You know, like it takes you can also have that, at least with my bank, you can have it overnighted. They'll walk up to the door the next morning and hand the person the envelope with the check in there. So, you know, and I use Metropolitan Credit Union back in Chelsea, Massachusetts, for you guys that are wondering. So any of you guys from Massachusetts can probably join Metropolitan Credit Union up in Chelsea, and it's a great credit union. I've been with that credit union now for, let's see, it'll be 40 years now. I've been with that credit union 40 years. And I've gone through a lot with that credit union. They know me fairly well. I've had a lot of things happen, and they've always been there for me, no matter what happened. They, you know, if I needed a loan or I wanted to get a car or whatever, that credit union was always there for me. Anyway, guys, I wanted to throw that out there, but also remember the eBay thing. The eBay, you can use that for PayPal to pay your PayPal account, and you can switch it over from your bank over into PayPal, so you have money there to buy things. And like I said, sometimes on eBay, they have some great items on there that are hard to get on other places, but you can also use it for Amazon. Amazon ships over here too. There's a lot of different ways to get stuff, and a lot of guys don't use all their expat tools. You know, we have a lot of tools over here now, more than the older expats had that were here 20 and 30 years ago. We have all the tech now to get everything over here, and it's a different day for us over here than it was for them, because they had to work harder to get things over here and had things shipped over here. We can just, you know, pay online or what have you, or even cash on delivery in a lot of cases. And it's easy. It's simple. Anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I'll see you soon.